What up, wheat field? This is your girl IT back from Tears and Wheat to Roll Show. When you never know what you're gonna get. Have to get this set up right because we always seem to forget to do that. We go from one platform to another platform and the view seems it's just a little bit different. We have to do a slight adjustment. But how y'all doing? Welcome back, my wheat. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the wheat field. Welcome to the Tears of Wheat to Roll show, where testimony meets to roll, and you sure enough never know what you gonna get. We need to get a sip because we are still doing this. Rise so that we can shine. How y'all doing, wheat? How y'all doing? Welcome, my wheat. Welcome back, guys, wheat. I pray that y'all are well. I pray that you are well. Welcome. If you are new to this space, welcome to you too. All of a sudden, I got a blinding white light in my eye. It was weird, like I couldn't see for a second. But anywho, welcome to you, wheat. Maybe it's just like the way it's positioned or something is going on. Anywho, welcome. Welcome to you. Welcome to this space. This is a free and open space. We are a Tarot channel. We are a channeled messenger. We message in the spirit with the infinite, eternal Lord of all of creation is infinite intelligence and its breath of life. Today we definitely have the intelligence and the breath sitting with us. I don't know if the Father's going to come and grace us with his advice. Spirit says yes, Father is always here. We praise and then we pray and then we get his presence. It's amazing. I must say, like trickery is out of energy. Source says to be aware of dark psychology. Yes. Where is it here? You want to look at it now? No? Okay. So that's an energy. We see trickery. We see an impact of self-worth, acceptance, which causes insecurity. That will prevent you from really getting into your service if you are feeling insecure and doubting yourself. But Spirit says to come together with that. Come together to balance that out. That's what I always feel on my soulmate card, like coming together in wholeness and goodness. Because in my opinion, a soulmate are two individuals who are whole. Of course, we're all whole, we're complete, but to realize that you're whole and operate from a sense of wholeness is a whole thing, right? To come together with your other half. Oftentimes, we reject a whole half of ourselves. We do. We leave that energy stored up and it's packed up and pushed down instead of transmuting that energy and see how it works for your good. Everybody has another side, that shadow side, right? We always want to lean into shining, yeah. What about the shadow? About to make you lose your mind, trying to push all that stuff down into the side. Spirit says no. Recognize it, that it is a part of you and it's something that you need to transmute. Can't tell you what to do, Yahweh, because free will is a whole thing. However, the recommendation is to come to good with your whole self, because it could affect your passion or ignite your passion. And coming together with you, your wholeness is perfection. It is, because you can't, nothing in its sense, like on just looking at the good is not perfection. No, we must look at the tear as well. What is it that drives you? What else is pushing you? What is the part of you that actually does some edifying work? It saves you in some certain situations, because you're talking about you get in the middle of it, the thick of it. You have to dig into that other side, that fortitude, that warrior sense, all of that, so that you can move your instinct. And all of that is going to be good for your service. And that right there is the enlightenment. To know that, to come to good with all of you and use all of your attributes or goodness. And that will take you into a destiny space. We do. But we saw complacency underneath that as an energy as well. Splitting on passion and enlightenment here. Passion and enlightenment. And we got to fix this before we mess around and shuffle it in here the wrong way. But while we're talking about shuffling it in here the wrong way, we got to get into some prayer. Before that, we're going to let you know the disclaimers, because you might not want to, just saying. Anywho, we are Lati. We are a channel messenger. Again, we know that who we message with and through, but we receive downloads and we scribe too. Yeah, we do. And I believe you guys have already seen that. I mean, if you're new here, that's what it is. We are not religious. We are spiritual. We study world theologies, like as many theologies as we can get our hands on. And we have every intention to study as many of them as we can. To understand how the source, our eternal Lord of all of creation, how it made the plane, how all the planes, the omniverses and the different densities and dimensions and everything. And if we consider that we operate on more than one dimension, that everything is now called by the infinite intelligence, the breath of life connects all things, then we look at all things having a word that we can read. So we read all of creation. When the Father called it and made it by its intelligence, it left a word, right? So you can read those words. We considering our words. We do cuss. It happens. We are not profane. We do not intend to be profane. We do not intend to be vulgar. But if the message is the message, it is what it is. And it comes out. The shit's happened, okay? So we just want to let you know that. We use, like I said, as many scriptures as we can get our hands on. We use all the ologies, the astronomies, all the means, all the experiences, testimony to tarot, okay? Married to tarot. And that's just the way that it goes. So if you could vibe with that, if you could rock, hang on there with your girl and you like it, subscribe at the end. If it ended up being something that you care about, share it out. Sharing is caring. And if you really want to come in here every day and get this spell, hit that bell. It'll let you know every time we throw one of these things here up. So if y'all ready to rock and roll, if you ready to get it in, get it going, let's do it. Come on, holy infinite, the infinite intelligence of the all. Yes, I know you here. The breath of life is here. We call in the breath of life. Thank you into activation, the infinite intelligence of the all, which is with us always, into activation. We reach out to our highest self, yes, our highest self that knows the way. We reach out to our highest self to connect us to the infinite intelligence, the breath, the holy, eternal Lord of all of creation. Thank you so much, Father. Thank you for my awareness of you being here. Thank you for the awareness of my purpose. At the bare minimum, I know that I am in service always. Heaven coming to earth to reside in earth and on earth to do a work that I do not remember. And as I journey through this experience, seeking to remember who I am, what I am, why I am, and the how to perform this service, I lean on to you for understanding and for clarity, for discernment. Yes, thank you so much. Help me to discover what it is in me that I was sent here to perform, to do. Help me to recognize the energies that are stored up and blocked up in my chakra space right now, Holy Father, so that we may clear those things out, so that I can transmute that energy, serve that back onto you, Holy Father. Let it be edifying onto self, so that I can serve it onto you. Let you be edified in that service and deliver back onto me that what I need in order to progress, to process the energy and to progress and move forward. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for my awareness. Thank you for allowing me to surrender and to obey your good advice for goodness, for my good, for the service, for my purpose. Yes. Allow me to be so full in this awareness that it overflows, Father, that it serves out onto your wheat fields so that they too may be edified, so that they can edify you, the source that has come together over these principles, over the word that you have brought to us, so that we can magnify ourselves, we can magnify creation itself and raise that up onto you. Thank you so much. Raise creation up, ourselves, the whole up onto you. Let that cycle back around for giving and let it just continue in the flow of giving and receiving. Block anything that we have in this space. I feel our sacral space. I feel our solar space leading up into our heart space as well. That blocks our ability to transmute the energy that we take in and be able to push it out for goodness, to be able to receive it, to feel it appropriately, to digest and discern the feelings and have them revealed onto us in such a way that we can serve it out, we can speak it out, we can speak to each other, speak onto self, speak onto you in a way that is whole and good. Yes, the wholeness for the sake of our upliftment, our upliftment. Please, Father, sit me back and use me as your willing, surrendered messenger and vessel to deliver this message at this time. Please bring me into alignment with you. Ensure that we are aligned, yes. And if we are aligned, please brighten up my light and my lumens to protect me in this space at this time. Prevent anything from coming in against me, against this message, or any of your wheat that is here to receive it. Let anything that comes against us be turned away, blinded, and confused. Yes, it has no jurisdiction here. If we are ready to go and ready to be placed in service, please seal us with your authority, your ashe, or give us further words that we may pray. I feel that Father is saying that we have His authority to balance this out. Like we feel the back and forth, like back, forward, energy back, energy forward, energy back, energy forward. And to use that to galvanize it, to balance it, I feel it, because it's in the same spot. It's not like going back and going forward, going back and going forward. It's in the same place. And that for me is like balance, I feel. Balancing out your energy so that you can use it, galvanize it like it's gaining momentum and velocity so that you can shoot forward, you can go forward, almost like a rocket. I feel like it just builds and builds. I feel the energy, like how you can see all the energy when the engine start up and it just goes, builds. Boom, I feel like the booming of it, the magnification, yes, of the energy to allow it to magnify so that it does what? Push you forward, propel you forward. Yes. And we had mysticism, Father pulled out. So mysticism to me is like, how did you do it? How did you change? How did you take all of these lemons and make orange juice, right? That's the thing. Thank you, Father. Are we sealed with your ashe? Ashe. Ashe. Thank you, Father. Ashe. Exclamation point. Underline. Ashe. Let's get it. Let's get it. Father says there's an impasse here too. Something that you are blocked on. I tell you, I feel that blockage. This Anything right here, just stay right here. Okay. We definitely feel that blockage. Again, I was feeling a blockage in the sacral and the solar plexus, right? Those two areas. And even coming up from the root, like, so to start from, ooh, that goes with our reel we did on Facebook. We felt like from the rooter to the tutor. And it was like from the root to the heart space, right? That we have these blockages in our centers. Goes back to a concept that we talked about early on. I don't know, a couple months ago now, I think. Where we were talking about getting your oil changed. Like, we take in so much in this vessel, like the vessel itself. We'll just back up just a little bit for context and clarity. We believe, as discerned to us, of course, that our light, our eternal light, lives in our kingdom space, right? And we have developed and formed this vessel around our light so that we can enter into the plane, be born into it, and survive and discern, right? Because the vessel is what it keeps our light. It is the vehicle that we journey in, right? So if we journey in the vessel, but the vessel has an awareness, like, your mind is sending information up through the spine all the time. The spine is getting all its data, it's processing it, it's sending it up and down like that flow information highway. So as your light exists and the vessel exists, right? The vessel has been taught, since coming into the plane as a babe, that it is a self, right? It has learned that it is a self. Almost like if your AI new robot, you know what I mean, had, it's a vehicle and it has a light inside of it, a person, a spirit, right? And then that spirit is kind of, it's in there, but it's not dormant. It just needs the vessel to be able to interact with the plane, right? And through the vessel, it's kind of like, I'm a self. What you mean? I ain't even got to listen to you. I feel something down in here, but, I'm doing what I want to do. That's that impasse, right? So again, what I'm describing is what we call the spirit and the flesh at war, because the spirit knows that it is really the pilot, but the flesh doesn't. It's like it's been taught that it is the pilot. It has been taught that there's these things that it must do, how it must behave, or just been, whatever the experience it has had up until the current day. I mean, so if you can flow with that, right? So yourself, the I, letter I, the self, the identity of the vessel, it thinks that it's got it. You got it. You got it. Mm, 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 mm. Right? So it's like unlearning the fact that the vessel is the I. It's not. And to put it in an I-E-Y-E position, an observant position, that the vessel is designed to observe, to discern, to take in information and send it up to the heavens so that it can have it broken down, realize, and receive direction, right? So we bring it in, eyes bring in light, ears bringing sound, and I don't know if this is just like electromagnetic freak, like I'm still working on that part, because we know that we have sensation, and to be able to feel what is around us is a whole thing. Like your nerve endings and everything is so sensitive when it gets up to the skin, that it is so soft and so intricate that you could feel something before it even touches you. You can sense it, right? You know that it's there. Something is around you. Again, then the emotions that tell you something is going on. It gives you a warning, a guidance system, right? What am I experiencing? Am I experiencing joy? Am I experiencing pain? Am I experiencing grief? Am I experiencing someone's graciousness? Like, what is that experience? The picking up and reading that energy, not only your energy, but the energy of the plane. And then we have our intuitive mind, those down that instinctual mind that says things to us, that from the gut and from Is it the infinite intelligence? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing, right? To be able to receive the infinite intelligence, the downloads, the speakings, that intuition through your third eye chakra, right? To have that open. And then the Father also sits and gives you information straight from the kingdom into your crown chakra. Those things all work together, right? But the main part is that we experience creation through the vessel by reading the electromagnetic energy, the frequency that is around us. We are all energetic beings. So to get in touch with your energy is in this space, it's very, very important to kind of work through all of the energy and emotions that you have received, that you've taken on into here, like what you've eaten. Because we eat, the creation experience is creation. So it's like you think about all of that energy you've taken in, and if you don't get it out and it's just sitting here in the gut, then it either festers and it causes this dis-ease in the vessel, in the body, or it causes you to explode, right? And then either way, you know, it's not really on to the fullness of what it is serving in your purpose of while you're here. It could keep you stuck. It could be destructive. Now, destruction is a purpose, right? We know that some things are built for that, to destroy. The same way that, do you want me to say that? No. Why? Huh? Is that the purpose? Okay. Well, just know that everything has its purpose, right? Tares in wheat to roast show, or the tares, we look at them so that we can put edification onto the wheat so we can grow. All right, Ashe. So, where should we pick up? Wheat is generating energy for ascension, ascension, ascension. Rise up, rise up. Yeah. And to take our energy and to become our alchemistic self, to lean into our ability to be alchemists, to transform that energy, all energy that we receive from those tears, they energize us, right? Then test the testimony. No testimony without the test, right? So to do that is where we get the energy to raise ourselves up. Again, pain is a hell of a catalyst. Nobody generally moves. They sit in complacency unless there is a reason to move. Now, some people are just driven. They really are. They want to go, 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 go. But whatever that is that drives them is still a catalyst. May not come from pain, because joy is also a catalyst. And to move from a space of joy, from understanding, yes, from wisdom, what you can create from there is beautiful. It's so powerful. I believe it is the service that which we surrender on to. That is where our dharma lies, to serve from joy. Let's get a sip. But to get to that joy, you often have to bust up the grief. You have to bust up the guilt. You have to bust up feelings of jealousy and envy and bitterness. And oftentimes it will be bittersweet, because you may, what did I say? Ha, come on, daddy, go on and do it. I love when the Father do it like that. When I say to operate from the spirit of joy, hey, Joy, how you doing? Yes. Did you guys have your board meeting this morning? Yes, joy, to serve from a place of joy. That is the service, to serve it out. Did you call in your board meeting this morning? Did you sit in the spirit and activate all of your board? Like, hey, We got a spirit of joy. Joy is on the scene. Do you got your infinite intelligence? Like that intelligence is there, recognizing the breath that kept you. Oh my God, I mean, you was resting throughout the night, yes, and the breath was with you. That intelligence was with you. Everything is operating without your focused attention. That is marvelous. Oh gosh, and then know that the Father is with you, residing with you. That light, your light is in there. Yes. Beautiful. And get up and say, welcome, Joy. How you doing? Come on in here, spirit of might. I am what? The might is here. We got facilities on deck. Yes, yes, the head of human assets. All right, the Holy Father, infinite creator of the all of creation. Yes. To call in that board meeting to recognize who sits on your throne, who sits at the head of the table. That right there, beloved, puts you on a great way. It gives you gratitude first thing in the day, appreciation for stepping into the day. And it doesn't matter what you brought with you because all of it is the tools in your arsenal. Huh? I'll always be the secret weapon in your arsenal. Your arsenal. And that does what? It helps you persevere. It does. It helps you get through this day. It helps you persevere, beloved. Let me get this in a way where you can see it. Get that on in there in the view. Come on in here, beloved. Hello. Welcome to you. Yes. I accept all of you. I do. Do you accept all of you? Because maybe it's this right here. We've seen forgiveness come out a couple of times. Oftentimes, again, this self, that self, the identified self, it makes decisions. And those choices that may not have been aligned with your light because maybe we weren't aware of the surrenderance or just, going about our own way. We do that. And it's a whole work to bring you in alignment. The spirit self with the identified self with the holy self, the Father. To bring those three into alignment, that's a lifelong work. And in that work, we stumble along the way. And to forgive self is the word of the day. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Beloved, you really will stop your flow. Let go. Despondence. Sitting in the spirit. Going to the spirit. And I feel it all the way over here. Like the eternal Lord of all of creation is waiting to receive whatever it is that you went through. Whatever it is that you're feeling. Whatever it is that you need to transmute. Whatever that energy is, to offer it up in goodness and receive that grace. Yes, confusion. Maybe that's what it is, to offer up confusion. Maybe you still are wrestling with decisions of the past, trying to work that out. What should I have done? Should I have done this, done that? Rumination, I hear. Round and around and around with that thing. But Father say, that to discover, discover self is a challenge. I mean, all of our decisions is really to release the judgment. I think to just be on the pathway of discovery, to unlock self, to unlock you, to go on a discovery. Or maybe the confusion that you have, yes, is blocking your discovery, is challenging it. Maybe you're confused about how to even go about to do it. And we have facade here. Facade is over the joy. I can't even pick it up. Can I get it? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Facade. Those are relationships out of obligation. Something that you hooked up to out of a sense of duty, And this doesn't have to just be relationship. It doesn't have to be I mean, not relationship, but I mean romantic. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be, relationships with children. It could be relationships with friends. It could be relationships with family. Things that you feel like you have a duty to. Like, there's my boy. I need to hold him down. We've been day one since such and such. But every time you can hook up with your boy, some ish pop off. You know, that relationship, because whatever that duty is or obligation you feel, yeah, like I said, somebody that you may have been around with, and instinctually, it tells you that I need to have a loyalty to this person. I need to maintain that because of reasons. And sometimes that's just not the way. Sometimes it's to be okay with the falling away, with the releasing, to release. Did you want that? Anything else in this deck, Father? No. We see quest and prayer. Those are other energies. Crack it open, renewal is here. To go on a discovery quest, I believe, for self, and we see rejection. Rejection is right here on the top, and Father pulls the energy in the reverse. And like maybe you are not pushing things away from you that are no longer aligning to self. Right? Maybe someone is even refusing to do the work, to even come into the spirit and really sit there in that space and seek the advice of Mother Creation herself, that infinite intelligence that will guide you and let you know how to get to the point of acceptance, accepting your whole you, because we see that somebody is blocked, and all this yellow, your joy is blocked by the facade. This right here is your solar plexus. That's that blockage, yes. We see solar, we see intuition, we see sacral, we see root, yes. Root is blocked. So those are the ones that we were saying, that root, the solar, and the sacral chakras. Definitely blocked, and it will impact your intuition, your ability to get those downloads, your third eye opening up and seeing like what is the whole picture, like the bigger picture, receiving downloads from the Father, your intuition, all of that coming together, getting that age-old information out of the pineal, out of your library, your Akashic library that you have there, and that confusion, and being able to operate on your instincts is here. Maybe so many things have gone on that you're blocked, where you don't trust your instinct, because you don't trust, get that in here, your instinct, because of the confusion. Because of the confusion, the impasse, the blockages are here, and you're feeling like you don't have what it takes to persevere. That puts your perseverance in a challenge. Yes. So what is it, beloved? What is it that's blocking you? Is it guilt? Is it, again, we saw facade. Thank you, Father. Help us see what the blockages are in our sacral, in our solar, and in our root chakras. What is stopping the energy flow up into our heart space for discernment, leading into confusion? That was definitely a main energy, but what can we offer the weak, Father? Offer onto self for self-edification, onto you. Offer it onto your wheat, yes. Offer for their edification. We got isolation, complacency, confusion, and instinct. Despondence is back. Joy is here. But what's this right here? An impasse. Still. Impasse. Blocked joy. A miracle is here, though, for someone. And grief is the main top energy. Grief. Grief. This one. Something that was bittersweet. Bittersweet. That's on the floor. Again, split right back on an impasse. An impasse with acceptance. Is this it? Joy. unable to get to joy, unable to have any gratitude. And that is the space where creation is held, because if the faith is lacking, the faith is challenged. Is it by this? We see gossip, yeah, maybe, and we see facade again. So that is, again, maybe you are in a relationship, soulmate relationships, people you have come together with, I feel. Again, obligation, duty is here. And maybe you feel like people will say some things about you, that it will be, you know, I feel like, oh, they shouldn't, they should be grateful, that we, or whatever. Almost like uh, whatever relationship that you're in is kind of like held by the chatter. Like you are concerned about what people will say if you make the change, if you come away from it, because you know it was going to be bittersweet to walk away from a situation that you feel that you must be loyal to or have a duty or an obligation to. It definitely creates a sense of grief, right? But something is telling you, your instinct, something in here is telling, is speaking to you. I don't know if you know that you're at an impasse or that you're blocked, because the confusion is right back. Do you want this yet? This one? Okay. Confusion. Maybe it's just cloudy. You don't know what's going on in the inside of here. It's just like, what is it? Is that right? No. Okay, what is the confusion, Father? Okay, so we feel depression, we feel the up and the down, the up and the down, like you go between a yes and a no, a yes and a no. I can do it, I can't, I can do it, I can't, I can do it, can't. Like every time you try to lift yourself up, you come back down. You lift yourself up, you come back down. And it's staying in that space, like almost like movement, like you try to move, but then you don't. And you get, I don't know if it's discouraged. Yeah, discouragement. Yeah. And it's bittersweet, something, grief, confusion over this. Like the going forward would be bittersweet, because the relationship is something that's built out of duty, and it's a concern about what people will say. Yes. And even if you feel like, you're dutifully doing things onto self because you feel like this is what you are supposed to do. I'm supposed to carry forward in this way. Like that is my thing. I've obligated to do this thing. And it maybe is really not you. And maybe, that could be an energy for someone as well. And afraid of what people will say, or maybe what you're saying to self is also an issue. This could be other people, and it could be internal language. We were talking about internal language yesterday. In that internal language, or whatever others are saying, or the fear of what others will say, is causing the confusion, and it's making everything that you're doing in that feel like a sense of grief and bittersweetness. Like, and it's not the joy out of the service, because it's stuck in a sense of, it's not really me. It's not really me. And there's something between having that revealed onto you through discovery. And look what's right back, that mysticism. Being able to transmute that energy so that you can persevere. But the insecurity is here as well. That will cause an insecurity of what other people will see. We saw recovery down there. It's making someone complacent, not wanting to move forward. That's what we were feeling, the stuck, like almost like when you are safe, like if you're down in the south or somewhere like that, it's done rained and it's got that muddiness, and your tires get stuck in the mud, and you keep going this right here trying to get out, like revving. I feel the revving. That's what I was feeling, like the energy. And you are almost mess around and blow the engine. You know, if you keep doing it, be like, no, stop, 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 because you keep pushing so hard, and it's stuck. But what happens to the motor if you keep revving it like that? You know what I mean? And you can't get out. Something happens, I believe. So that's what the energy I was feeling. Like the turmoil and the chaos, this confusion builds up energy. You have an instinct that tells you that you need to move, but it's challenged. Yes. It's because the impasse, to be able to break this up, break up the facade, those feelings, to accept. But I don't think that acceptance is here yet. Maybe you need to go in the spirit. Are they in the spirit? No. Maybe not seeking that advice and taking that energy up and giving it out, speaking it out to the spirit. I hear prayer. You know, there's something, prayer is lacking. Pray more for answers. Yes, pray more, pray more. Somebody feels isolated. Isolated. Not only do I feel isolated, but I feel like they're wearing their old suit, or like they feel like they're on their last suit. Like this is it, you know, or just stuck in a representation that doesn't fit them. Like maybe they don't even want to put it on. They looking at it, but they like, I don't even want to wear that. You know, because I'm not that. It's the facade. It's something that you're doing out of duty, out of obligation. And you have a fear of what people are going to say. And it's making you not want to move, putting yourself in an isolation where I don't want to do none of this. And your prayer and sitting in the spirit and talking to the spirit is diminished. Maybe you feel like, again, you've been left alone to weather this cold season by yourself. And there's no one there really that understands. The confusion is there. Nobody really understands. Nobody accepts, or nobody will accept the real, I feel. Your faith is definitely challenged on that. Nobody will really accept the real. Creation, gratitude, and joy. That's where the ability to create comes from a feeling of joy and gratitude, will lead you back into a space to create room to go forward, I feel. So that would be a part of the advice, to pray in the spirit here. Going into the spirit, getting some acceptance, yes, on just the what is. Coming together in wholeness of that. Coming together and putting some faith and some on top of this right here. Just a little bit of faith will move you into a creation space. Is that right, Father? Is there more? There's more. Where's some more? Create confusion is blocking their ability to create, or they're confused about what to create. Are they confused about how to create, how to use the energy? Yes, it's making them depressed. And they're just kind of sitting here and lying in this space in isolation. Yes. Accept the energy. Accept what has happened, the circumstances. Accept it. And have some faith, sitting into the spirit, going into the spirit, and taking the all there, all of your experiences, all the experiences. Take the experiences, accept them, and take them to the spirit, and have faith. Have faith. Yes. Is that right? Yes. Service is from the grief. Service, grief. Serve the grief to the all, like to give it over, your grief, even though it's bittersweet, and it will be bittersweet to serve that grief up. When you give the grief up in goodness, like in faith, giving the grief over in faith, you will receive grace, grace, comfort. Spirit is saying to me that there's an energy that wants you to remain sad. Like, of course, we know that there's multiple types of energies in this plane, but there's something that wants you to remain sad. It wants to stop you from creating from a place of joy. And what you will create from a place of joy is going to be very different from what you create from this grief. The grief is only leading you where? Is it stopping all of this? Yes. It's keeping you complacent. The grief is keeping you complacent from being able to truly get going. And the ability to transmute this energy that's in here, in your gut space, in the kingdom, to transmute it, to unlock it, to unblock it, to let it flow up, will get almost like the rhythm in your heart space going again, the rhythm to get back into the beat of things. I feel like where you can serve it up and give it up to the Most High. It's almost like you feel like you need to hold on to it, like hold on to it for dear life almost. Like the pain and the grief has become life. Like that is where your rhythm is from. And you are stuck in that, feeling isolated and pulled to the side, pulled back. You know, to be able to push past that, I just feel like it's stuck, like you just holding on to it, almost like you identify with the pain, like it is self, like you've accepted that pain and grief and dutiful relationships, like you're stuck in something that's just an obligation, and you're afraid of what people are going to say, and that grief and that it it's blocked your heart and closed things off, challenging your ability to move from what you instinctually know, to lift the confusion. And this confusion is definitely over your ability to create this. No. What would you like? This soul journey. Okay. All right. We really wanted to dig down into these chakras and see, because we've been feeling that blockage here. Imagination flipped over. I saw that energy. Imagination to me is faith. You know, can you imagine? Discipline is here. We have happiness, and we have death, and we have loneliness, self-esteem, and trust. Indecision is here as well. Anything else? No. So let's see. An indecision, impasse. Yeah, an impasse. I use my intuition in all aspects of your life. You're not able to. You're blocked by the grief. Blocked by this, I feel sadness, you know, bittersweet grief and sadness. Like, you are stuck in something that you feel obligated to and afraid of what other people are going to say, or impacted by what you are saying to self, right? And Father is saying isolation, complacency, death is here. Maybe someone, again, loneliness is right over here with isolation and death. There's been a transition. You know, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. And maybe you've had so many endings that it's put you in this place where you're stuck. It's like all of those endings have not been transmuted. That energy is here. It's blocked your heart chakra. Happiness, heart chakra, that's green. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path, but I feel like you're challenged with getting to that happiness. disciplined, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Also in a slight challenge, like maybe you believe but you don't believe, or if you can come out of this, you will start to move and start to write this. Self-esteem is right here over top of your joy. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. To get rid of this, to unblock it, will let you know that you do have gifts, things that you possess that will assist you. One of the gifts is our spirit of joy. Joy comes in, and what you can create from that space is beautiful. But to feel the joy, we have to get rid of the grief, the bittersweetness, relationships out of obligation. Whether you are doing something that you feel obligated to do, you are with someone that you feel obligated to be with, and you feel like you're unable to walk away from this situation. The confusion, or maybe you're confused about the how. We see discipline here. That is the how to do it. And discipline is right over the spirit, going into the spirit for despondence, for guidance, to stay maybe even disciplined to the guidance that you were receiving. Maybe spirit is speaking to you and you are unable to hear it. That was a message, I believe, from yesterday or early morning, to be able to hear the spirit while it is speaking to you. And I believe that spirit is speaking, and maybe you just can't hear, or maybe you're having a hard time speaking to the spirit and staying disciplined and honoring what is being told to you, to surrender to that. Because it may be telling you to come away from this situation, but you are locked up in complacency. Maybe you feel like if you end it, you're going to be lonely. That could be the case. If you and you're not moving, because I know that I am never alone. Do you know that you are never alone? Guilt. Guilt. Challenged with guilt. Maybe you feel like honesty is also a thing. Challenged with the ability to be honest about this relationship. The fact that you do feel like it's out of duty. You feel like it's out of obligation, not something that you are joyfully into and grateful for. Maybe, you like, I wish I could find a way. But trust is here. At the end of the day, can you trust your ability to work through the confusion and what will be created out of that? I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. I don't believe that. I believe that, well, that's a challenge. Is it a challenge? No. This is what the end result. Okay, so once you come out of that and move into this space to listen to what's being told to you and stay disciplined for that and have some happiness, I am aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. So getting on the right path. Thank you, Father. Listening to the spirit, having some discipline to stay on that right path. After you've ended things, despite the fact that you may feel lonely, but to have to know that you are not alone, you're not. And that endingness is only a new beginning to move you forward. Move you forward to grow your faith, move you into joy, increase your self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. It will give you some gratitude, and you may end up being okay with the fact that you were confused. You may have some gratitude for it, because again, the tear comes to edify us. We see indecision here, which leads to confusion. So this indecision that you have here, all of this that's going on, these are the energies. The ability to be honest about this relationship that you're in. I see soulmate again. And enlightenment is behind it. So it's something that has come to light. Discovery right behind that. Again, something that has come to light. You've discovered, I believe, that this is out of obligation, that you feel guilty about it. It's an impasse. You have a feeling of grief, that you know someone or something is going to be grieved. It's going to be bittersweet if you walk away and end this. And that knowingness creates complacency. You may feel like, you're going to have to isolate yourself, or you may even feel isolated in it. Loneliness is a factor, but to know that you are never alone, that your spirit guide is with you, will help you move into obedience to the spirit, to your guide, to be disciplined, to stay disciplined in that obedience, and know that you are on the right path. That definitely will pull in your self-esteem, and increase that. Uplifting self, knowing that you possess the gifts that will benefit you and others, that this move, the change will be beneficial to you and to other people. It will call back that joy and your faith and your gratitude, and you will end up having gratitude for being confused, because what you will create from all of this is going to be beautiful. You will know for sure that your inner voice will always guide you correctly. You will have trust in that. Faith, from faith to trust. And I say from faith to self-assuredness. Anything else, Father? No. Surrender. To surrender to that. Surrender to that. Is there anything else for this reading, Father? No. No. We're good. Ashe. 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 Good job. Good. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you guys so much for sitting around for this reading. I hope the pieces of it came together for you. I told you sometimes it'd be good cooking with that cold Crisco, that old school stuff where you have to get it out the can, put it in the pan, warm it up. Most I come in and throw some heat on it, and it comes together. You know, like that pot roast sometimes too, when it's kind of slow. Chopping up all them ingredients and throw it all in there, and before you know it, it's something good and edifying for the soul. Throw some cornbread on the side, a little bit of hot sauce. You know how we do. Anywho, this is the reading for today, y'all. I hope you vibe. I hope you vibe. And if you did vibe, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. If you know, joy brews today. Okay? Joy. Joy. Yes. Joy in pain. Sunshine and rain. Joy. Ooh, and pain. Here we go. Here we go. Now, sunshine and rain. Let you know that you're on the right path. Yes, yes, I feel that, Father. I do. I do. Being aware that you are on the right path. Trust. Having some trust. Discipline. Discipline. Yes. You are not alone, beloved. You're not. You're not. And that's the truth. That's the truth. You are not alone. You are not. You can't always expect the truth from others, but expect it from yourself. Are you telling yourself the truth? I feel that that's a challenge. And it may be leading you to some guilt, right? The truth, if you tell yourself the truth, it makes you feel guilty. Yeah. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. That truth that you know internally, that you know in your spirit space, like for real, is giving you some grief. Afraid what other people are gonna say or what you're gonna say about this relationship. Something that may needs to come away from you. You have an impasse, a block on that. Unwilling to bust up those emotions and get under the good way. That main thing is guilt. What are people gonna say? What are people gonna say? You don't live for other folks, beloved. You live for you. And that's how you're gonna recover yourself. That's how you're gonna recover yourself. Yep. That's how you recover yourself. Anything last ones? Surrender. Surrender so that you can recover you. Yeah. That's what Father recommends that you do. You know, because we can't tell you to do. Free will is the whole thing. And it's all in due time. It's all in due time. Yes, all in due time. Balance. Come to balance. Come to balance with everything, all that has happened. It's okay. It really is. It's all for learning. It's all for learning. But if you do it, you do it. You start today. This, anything in here? No, Father say stop. Well, we saw abundance, success, but loneliness, judgment, judgment. Make the choice. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. We do. Happiness. You are on the right path. You are. You are on the right path. Accept it. Can you accept it? Can you choose to accept the whole thing? Can you choose to accept everything? Everything that's happening? Can you come to peace? Indecision. Peace. But you have to decide. Do you want to choose peace or do you want to choose confusion and chaos, grief? You know, that remaining locked up. Which one? Peace, obligation, grief, denial, or peace. You have to choose. Gotta choose. To the next now, know this. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you just like I love me. I do. I love me because I love the source that created me, the eternal Lord of all of creation, made by his infinite intelligence and animated and filled with the breath of life. Yes, yes, yes. And I love you because you are the same, beloved. And so until the next now on the Tears and Weed to Rose show with your girl YT, we're going to call this an Ashe.